Hey guys, welcome back to VBA A to Z. My name is Lung Pamai, and in today's video, I'll be showing you how to create search autocomplete suggestions, also known as predictive search. This is a very useful feature to include in your user interface, which will definitely help improve your user experience. Let me give you a very quick demo. This is the custom text field that we created from our first video. It has a watermark, it has an icon, and then it has a custom border. So once you click on this here and type in any client's name, for an example, let's say that I'm looking for Rebecca, I'll say RE, and then it will auto suggest me all these client names, for an example. Or let's say you type in my name, or it could be any name starting with V, Vince. It could be Mary Irene, Mary Rose, example. So this is what we'll learn today. If you missed our prior videos, all these videos will be added to a playlist called Professional UI/UX. As always, project files, source codes used within tutorials will be made available absolutely at no cost, so you can change them as per your requirement. The only request from you is to support my channel so I can keep sharing all these videos and programs. So before we begin, please do not forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon for upcoming videos. First, let me take a few minutes to quickly show you how to use list box control in your user form. I'm gonna quickly insert a new user form here. From the toolbox, I'm gonna bring in the list box. From the properties, as usual, you can see the special effect, the border, the background color, and so on. For now, I'm gonna make this to each. And here, one thing to note here is once you add the list item here to your list box, there are multiple options. You can make the user select multiple items, single item, or extended. Extended is basically the user can hold down the control key and select multiple items. Otherwise, multi-select will be like as soon as the user clicks on it, it's gonna get selected if there are multiple items within the user form. If I load up this form now, it's blank. Add a quick let me add a button here like this. This is a demo, and we'll say me.listbox.add. Whatever you add here is gonna be added to the list box. So let's say dummy and then 1. So once I click on this, one item is added, right? So this is very simple way to add. Let's say that you have to add multiple items. So I'll I as long, and then we'll loop 1 to 10. Maybe this is an example for now. Like this. Instead of 1, we'll say I. So I will become our dynamic number there. So before we add, it's better to clear out. So clear. So this will clear out the list box, whatever is there. Like this, okay? All 10 items. So if I click on it, it will clear and then re-add them like that. Okay, so that is a simple way to add. And let's say that you have to return the value of what was selected. So let's quickly check that as well, because you might want to pull what was selected by the user. Okay, so let's say that I have a box here. This is an example, a text box. And whenever the user clicks on this list box item, we want to return it into text box 1. Okay, 1.value is equal to, so we'll say list box 1.list like this. And then here you'll just specify, since we are already just having one item, we can just use this list index itself. Like this. Okay, so it's very simple to use this feature, but it's very useful at the same time. Okay, so I hope that is clear. Now very quickly, now going back to we'll change the property of the form now to multi-select. If I now, as soon as I select, it gets selected. Okay, now the other property here, the last property that you have here is extended property. So once I load this up and click on this, it still select only one. If you have to select multiple of them, you have to hold down the control key from your keyboard and then click on it. It will get selected. Let's say that you want to return all these selected items. Let me quickly show you that as well. I'm just gonna add another button. Let me just leave this here for now. I'm just gonna replicate this list box. Something like get selected items, something like that. Now let's write a quick loop to loop through all the items within the list box 1, and then we'll try to transfer whatever was selected into the list box 2 for an example. So we'll say dim x as long, and then for x equal to, so the index starts from 0 for the list box. We'll get the count. -1 is just to take care because it's just starting from 0, that's why. So now we'll say if me.listbox1 dot selected, whatever is selected for that particular index, so it's going to loop through and then it's going to check if that particular index is selected. If it is true, then we're gonna bring that particular item to listbox2. We'll say me.listbox2 dot add item, and then here we'll say listbox1 dot list, and then here the index is going to be x, and then we're going to say 0 because we only have one column at the moment. Okay, firing up this again, this will add, so like this, and then add here. So whatever is selected here, you can see that's been brought to this. This is how you can add, and this is how you can read the data of whatever is selected. Let's say you want to bring in multiple columns from here. We can do one thing. Let's say that we want to add a list like this to the list box, three columns like this. Okay, so we'll just loop from 1 to 10 again, and then we'll add this to the list, just as an example. me.listbox1 dot column count is equal to the number of columns that you want to add. You can specify it here like this, and then once you have this, you can also specify the column width, and then within this it will just take care by itself, so you just don't have to worry too much for this. Like this, with the comma you can specify the width of each of the column for an example. Now let's say here, instead of dummy, we'll load the data from our Excel like this. Okay, so since it's gonna start from row number 2 till, let's do it till serial number 10 here, so till 11, we'll say this. Okay, this is not X, I just changed it from there. Okay, so I'm gonna start it up. Okay, this is not looking good. I forgot to add other columns. Coming back here, sorry. 30, let's make this 70 each for another one. So here this is adding only one item, and we're saying this is 3, right? So I just forgot to mention this. When you're adding multiple item, the syntax will change slightly. So we'll say add the item, and then we'll say me.listbox1 dot list, and then here you'll specify the index that you want to add. That is going to be I. Since I is starting from 2, we'll just do -2 because it's starting from 0. Okay, and then the column number that you want to add to, so first will be 0, and then it's gonna be like, let me quickly replicate this for 3 columns, right? This is for the row and this is for the column, so I'll say 1, and then this is gonna be 2 like this. Similarly here, this is your Excel range, the index row of that we are looping through, the I row, right? And then the column, similarly we'll do 2 and 3. Let's try this. So like this, whatever is here is getting added here. Similarly, like we did earlier, you can loop through again and get the selected item, but in this scenario like this, it's gonna just get the first ones. If you want to bring in additional columns, then you'll have to specify what you want to get it from there. But in this scenario, since we already have only one particular column in the list box 2, you can specify, just for now we'll just do in this manner, just to return a value. So there's going to be 1, and then it's going to be 2 like this, and let's put a breaker here. Something like this. So let's say that these 3 items are selected, So you can see for, and then the middle name, the name, and then the phone number. To demonstrate this, let me just delete this the list box, and then I'll re-add them and show you how it's done. I'm not gonna go through this one again because we already created this in our first video. The list box, first I'll get the list box and make it frame here. So the idea here is that when the user form is loaded, this list box is gonna be hidden. Okay, so we'll make this to flat, and we'll make the background very similar to the user form, maybe something like this, yeah. When you're designing your form, let's say that if you have multiple controls here, maybe first you put it somewhere, you design them, and once you finalize the form, you can drag it, you know, like very close to where the search box is gonna be located. Okay, and the other thing here, I think I put a border as well. It's already set. The selection is currently set to single. Okay, so now this is not gonna do anything. We'll have to write a function to do this search. Okay, so here when the text box is clicked, this is from just for the effects and from our prior video. What we're trying to do now is that as soon as any value gets changed within this text box, we're gonna use this text box, and then we're gonna add all the match items to this particular list box. Okay, so I'll just hold up this now and quickly write one particular very simple function for demonstration. Ideal way to do is like normally from our prior video, if you've seen, like there's a user interface where there are so many lookups happening, so many retrievals happening. In those scenarios, what I would suggest is you can use dictionary, or you can add all these items within the memory using like the public object or public variable, and then you can read from those memories. So that way it's like super fun. But for now, for the sake of learning, we're gonna read it from Excel file. Okay, so we'll write a function. Let's call this search text, something like that. And this is where we're gonna take the text to search. We'll just put a variable like this, text to search as string, and then this does not return anything as such. Okay, and now let's loop from we'll declare one more variable here, this long. Let's say 500 rows. So if you look at this data set, it has 500 names here, starting from row number 2 till 501. So we can say 501, and if we just add this now, list box, we can just add it like this, I and then 2 dot value, like this. So column number 2, and then whatever the I is index, as it goes, the I will keep on looping down like this, one by one, keep on going down. Okay, so this is by default adding everything, but instead of adding everything, we want to put a condition here. First, what I did was here I cleared the list box. We cleared all the contents within it, and there's one handler I put just to take care that if the list box is hidden, we want to show that. Okay, there are multiple ways to do that. Doing the comparison, in this scenario, I'm gonna make the lowercase for whatever is there in the text box and whatever is pulled from the Excel sheet, this one as well, and then do the quick comparison. Okay, x value is equal to this, and then we'll say x value here, and then we'll declare this. Okay, and we're gonna keep using this x value down here. So L case, and then list value, and then we'll say L case, whatever is there in the text string, this one, we're gonna compare this. So if this lowercase of whatever is passed here is like this L case of the value, okay, then we're gonna add the item here to the list box. So here the like will be, you can either have a star here in the beginning. So this will be just give me 1 second. Got to name that. So if you do in this manner, it's gonna, whatever, let's say that you're passing a val, like S, then all the names which contain the letter S is gonna return the value. But in case you want to just search for the one starting with whatever you type in, so let's say that you type in REB, it's gonna bring in this value for an example. So in that scenario, we don't want to put an asterisk in the beginning, okay? So that is up to you how you want to do it. So once it's here, we have to add a couple of more handlers. So we'll say if it's false, then this is just to make our list box visible. Need a list box dot visible is equal to true, and then X will just set this true. I think this might not be required as well, but for the sake of this for now. And then we'll this here sometime you might want to resize it, the list box, as per like sometimes it will return more names, sometimes it's going to return lesser names. So if you want to make the list box, the height of the list box that is returning the suggestions shorter or taller, and so you can take care of this in this manner. So I'll say me dot listbox 1 dot height. So for now I did around 260. So if this is around this, as long as it's this is more like a maximum. So I want to set every time an item is added, I want to increase this height to by 10, something like this. And then once it reaches around this, then it stops adding that. Okay. In the beginning I also set the height, standard height, to I guess around 54. Okay, so let's give it a try to this one. Going back to text box 1, double click on it. Here we want to use this as soon as any value within this text box type in is changed. Okay, so let's search this text, and then we'll say me dot text box 1 dot value, something like that. Okay, so let's give it a try. So as soon as I click on this and say REB, doesn't seem to be working. Just give me a moment. Let me quickly change certain things. I'm gonna switch this, and let's bring in all this within this condition. Only when the condition is true, let's do this. This value is not blank. I think we missed something. This is fine, this is fine. Here's doing the comparison of the string from Excel, whatever is pulled in here based on the loop. And if the condition is true, if the text box is hidden, we turn it to visible. If the value is not blank, we want to add that value to the list box, and we are adjusting the height of the list box based on the number of items that is being added. Let's start it again. Okay, now it seems to be working. Okay, now we can also quickly set the font color. Maybe something not completely white, but something like this. Starting with P, starting with E, R, V. Okay, one last thing to take care of here is just to hide the list box here, which was commented out earlier. Once you load this up, the list box is going to be hidden. You type on this, you start typing in the name, it's going to return, it's going to resize based on the list. There's a maximum set, and then if the list is lesser, it's going to sort on the list box. In our next video, we'll visit more design and customization ideas and start creating real-life applications. If you found this video informative and helpful, please do not forget to leave a like and a comment. It will mean a lot to me. And please do subscribe for our upcoming videos. Thank you so much for your support. I'll see you in our next video. Bye-bye.